Hey y'all, how you doing? I know it's been a while since I've been here, but oh man, where should I start? I've been trying a few things with the Mandela Effect. Well, trying. Well, I'll just start from the beginning of where I came up with this theory at. Okay, so I took my son to a doctor's appointment, right? And I'm sitting there with my phone. He was in there a lot longer than I thought he would be. And I looked at my battery, make sure it was charged, and I was there for a while. And the battery started dying. It was an old phone. And I kept looking at the battery. It's like, dang, it's going fast. It's about to die on me personally, but luckily I can charge it in the car, so that was all good. Um, but I was watching the battery, and this thought came into my head. It's like, what if the Mandela effect was like a battery, okay? So this is what this is right here, all right? Let's pretend this whole thing here is a Mandela effect. One big battery. So the first effect of the energy was to change the Earth. This is just not really in any order. It's just things that have happened, right? So this line here represents the energy it took to change the Earth. You know, the island by Australia's missing now. People say it was there. I know it was there. I saw it there before, way back when. And how land masses change, and to me, North Pole is not even iced over anymore, apparently. What it is, what it's not. But well, you know, this land masses change. So that must took a lot of energy for that, okay? So that energy's gone. And next, let's say it needed all this energy to change history. Okay, so our timeline, let's start here. I think it was 1990 where Nelson Mandela was supposedly died, but didn't. And let's see, Limburg baby was never found, but I guess now it's found 2 weeks later. And let's see, the painting, Henry VIII, and then we have the painting in the 16th chapel has changed. And let's see, the tomb where there was only one snake, now there's a snake and a bird there. And plus the books, the movies, so a lot of history basically changed. The Mandela Effect changed all this amount of history. So let's say that used a lot of energy too, okay? And next, what it had to do was, see, this is the part where it gets, I wouldn't say it gets complicated, but it's like, it had to take a lot of energy to get into people's brains, you know, to change all the memories. So you had the two groups, right? You had the ones with the memory from the new timeline that's always been like that. Then you have us who have the memories from the old timeline. So let's say that took a lot of energy too out of the battery. Okay? Now what we have is this amount of energy left compared to the red zone. Alright? So it's basically fighting back and forth. You can have little energy and almost being out of energy. Okay? So with the second diagram right here is we had the people with the memory of the new timeline. And what if we can make some of these people remember the old timeline? So then the memory or the energy would go down more. because they'd have to use more energy to keep them from, I guess you would want to say, their brains going back to the old memory. But the more we can get to remember the old timeline, the more memory the Mandela Effect has to use, the energy there, maybe, hypothetically. Excuse me. So I'm hoping something like that. Maybe it could be right. The more energy it has to use, the lower it'll get. And once it gets into the red section, oh, this pens really suck. Markers, whatever. And so it's still fighting. So if maybe, if we can get it down into the red section, maybe then the old reality can try to fight back with the new reality. Maybe. And this is where it's really going to matter at, right? In that section there. Because, see, this is where we have to make a choice, okay? Because it's going to create a lot of chaos. Because what could happen is when our memories, or the old reality, starts fighting a new one, right? Pushing back and forth. So one day, everything could flip-flop back to the way it was, but the next day, flip-flop to a new way of things are right now. And then go back and forth, you know? And the people with the new memories, or whatever you want to call them, from the new reality, are going to start feeling the way we do, you know? And all we have to say, well, it was like that. Which I really hate hearing. But you know what I mean. So they would basically be where we're at. And it will be tough for them to understand what's going on. Because they will have no way to explain it. Their minds may not even accept it. We've got to find that one point of where, if it could happen, the old reality to fight the new reality. And the only way to do that is tell more people, make more videos, do research, find the flip-flops, the residue, and show people and tell them. This is where it gets harder, okay? Because when you want to tell people about this, there's certain words we should not use, okay? Crazy, lunatic, bizarre, words like that, you know? Don't put ammunition into people's minds of the way they see you. Just say something like, this is what's happening, or this could be happening, or this is what it looks like right now. This is what I remember. But don't say, well, this may sound crazy, or I may be crazy, or this is totally loco, or whatever. Don't use any of those words when you're talking about it, okay? Because that's all they're going to hear is, man, this guy's crazy when he's telling me this stuff, because you already put that word into their mind. So from now on, don't use any of those words. Don't give them any reason to think. And if they say it, well, you are crazy, just ignore it. Don't even acknowledge them saying that. Just say, this is what's happening. Here is, look at these pictures here. This is what I remember. All we have to do is put doubt into their minds. And that doubt, if we tell them the information, and if they do the research, could grow. And what if that doubt creates an opening, and what if the old memories surface? And they'll start doubting themselves. Maybe they'll come back and talk to you. Maybe they'll do their own research, you know? We never know. Just don't use the wrong words when you talk to people. Because you got to imagine how much energy it took to change the earth and to change history and to work in all these brains, you know? And it's still working back and forth, you know? It's still going back and forth between the red zone and the small green zone. Because more and more people are waking up, which is lessening the energy from the Mandela Effect. Hopefully, maybe. This is just a theory. So, just don't use the word crazy or insane or anything like that when you're talking about it anymore. Don't give anybody any ammunition. So, the bad part is, the more people who don't want to live in the twilight zone, and they actually go back to sleep, will create more energy for the Mandela Effect. I can understand why they may want to go back to sleep, because they just can't handle everything that's going on. It's understandable. You know? It is. It's understandable. But we just have to make them understand that maybe there's a way for us to fight it. Okay, let's put it at a 6-week period of what happened to me. Okay. The first week, I work in a warehouse. I pack car parts and stuff. So I went to my manager. I said, I'm going to go pack these shocks on this table here because a whole bunch of them. And she's like, well, you like packing shocks? I go, like, well, of course I did. We talked about it before, and you know this. It's like, okay, go pack them. So I went to go packing. Like 3 weeks later, same thing happened. I got done with my stuff. Went over to the manager. I told her, I was like, well, this table with shocks, I'm going to go packing. And a week before that, let's go back a week, I was outside. And it's about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I was looking up, like I always do at the stars and stuff. And then I said, it's all I can do is call it like to me, what I saw, all right? It looked like a wave that was just going over the sky, but it was like higher. Only reason I saw it is because like the moon was like, I guess you could say, shining over the line, and it was like a wave kind of. And I'm looking at it going, because it wasn't clouds, it was completely clear, and it's like, it wasn't clouds at all. It was a line, like an energy wave going over the sky, and it was like, I looked at it. You know how you keep looking at something, and it's just, it was there, and if you look away, it'll be gone. I stood there looking at it, and my brain was like, oh man, that just tore apart my theory, maybe. So my brain started going again, and it was like, if that is an energy wave, or maybe another reality was trying to move in, hell, that just blew this out of the water, because I figured once it goes all the way down and gets empty, there would be enough time for maybe the old reality to start fighting back, you know? And then with that wave, or whatever it was, it basically created this for me. Because a week after, I went to her, like I said, and I said it is the shocks the table I want to do, you know? Can I pack these? And she's like, you like packing shocks? I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, go ahead and get them done. I said, you know I like packing shocks. We talked about this before. And she's like, no, we haven't. Well, it's good that no one else really likes packing shocks. If you want to do them, go do them. It's like, I just stood there looking at her. I must have had this weird face or something, because she just looked at me going, what's the matter? It's like, then my mind went back to that wave, and it's like, because sometimes if there's a reality shift. You really can't tell because they're both so much the same, and there could be a little things, little tiny things that could be different, you know? I've seen posts on forums and on Facebook about people seeing flip-flops and residue and finding new things, and I read all this stuff, and it's like, and then going to work, and then she's saying this and going through this, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go pack. So, what could have happened? Another whole wave of reality came by after this one got drained. You know, this battery died. Another battery shows up right behind it. So that's got me thinking. It's like, how can we fight energy when there's another energy behind it that can take its place like this, you know? And that's what I've been thinking about for the last 2 weeks. And I was like, there's no way that I can think of, because you'd have to fight one battery, get it down, and how would you stop the next battery from taking its place? You know? Because then you have to drain this one, and you know another one will be right behind it. So that really just put me in a mood. It really did. Had this really good theory. Find a way for the old reality to fight the new one. I was happy. Then the wave, and then, oh man. I've been racking my brain. How? I mean, you could tell enough people, maybe, but does each new battery keep, let's say this is a new battery, right? Okay, new reality, all right? And it may change slightly something, or it may change a lot, depending, okay? So every time one battery gets emptied, another one shows up. The thought of that, and how long does it take each reality to use up all their energy? How long does it take? Could it take a little while, a long time, a short while? You know? Because what if it doesn't change anything, you know? What if it basically stays the same? It's like just here and there, you know? But still, it won't use as much energy each time a new battery shows up behind the old empty one. Or it could use a lot, and we don't see it changes yet. Despairing. I was like, if we told enough people and got the battery down enough so maybe something would happen, but no, I don't know. There's no way to tell how many realities is behind the one that, and there's not. You know, because it's continuous, you know. No telling how many different reality timelines there's going to be. You know, it could bounce back and forth, you know. And people will see it. People go crazy. Or ignore it. I had a really good theory until that stupid line put the thought in my mind. Because what if the battery does not even have to be totally done for the next wave to come in? What if it's keeps triggering battery after battery? You know? There's no way. How do you fight so many? People say you can control your reality. Everybody would have to focus on one thing I mean, lots of millions of people probably had to focus on one thing to change something, to use all the energy in that battery, and then drain the battery, and another one comes right behind it. I mean, there's no way. Fighting this thing is a pain. Oh man, this is just. Some of you might have other theories about this, and that's cool. But I really, it ticks me off. Because I thought there was a way, you know. But no. So, I am back to scratch. That's fine. We'll find a way to fight it. Keep telling people. Like I said, don't use any of the negative words when telling people about it. Don't give them anything to think about except what you're telling them. And just be careful. I know it's probably going to slip. But then cover it up and just keep telling them information. Because we have to create doubt. Okay? The doubt will grow. And if someone's totally non-believer, pretty soon they're going to doubt and do their own research. And something may click with them, you know? Okay. I think I've said my piece. It's just a theory. I totally messed up myself. Alright, y'all. Well, you take care, and I shall talk to you later. And thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Alright. Bye.